Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope you guys have had a good start to the week, and let me have a little look into the live chat room and get you guys up on screen, because in there today or tonight or in the morning, whatever it is where you are, we have Lynn, Terry, Billy, Kevin and Tangela and Jennifer, Laurie, Stan, Corey, Shawnee Key, Pamela, Beverly. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight, and thank you for everyone just giving me a song to play at the beginning of this live stream that was requested over on Patreon. Let me have a little hop over there quickly and have a look who requested this one, and it was Marilyn and Deborah and Donna and Lisa. It looked like it was a popular one. Michelle, Beverly, Teresa, Lynn, as Lynn was just pointing out that Percy was in the lead, and also which cover video was in the lead as well. So we'll take a little look at that later on, but let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they are the reason that this is happening and is possible in the first place. So a massive shout out to my patrons. Their names go across the bottom of the screen during all of the live streams that happen on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. And we have the Tuesday crew in today. There always tends to be a little bit less of us on a Tuesday because people have to work and earn money to live. So it's not a day off. So it is understandable that we get lower numbers on a Tuesday, but I'll still be here on a Tuesday night with you guys. And also, we do have some donations that came in, so thank you guys for that. And the first one, I think, was Orlando, and this was on equivalent of Super Chat, and it was a very early donation because it came in yesterday, I do believe, on Monday at some point. It doesn't give me the exact time, but it was for $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. A very early donation. And we do have a few PayPal donations to get through as well that happened before the live stream started, so thank you guys so much for that. Just to outline what we're going to be doing tonight, as usual, we're going to be having a look at a few pictures. We do have some pictures to look at tonight, which is good. Thank you guys for uploading those to the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook. If you're not part of that group yet and you are new to the channel and new to the live streams, then head over to that page on Facebook. Just type in Wings of Pegasus supporters group. You can add in the group, you don't have to. You can just put Wings of Pegasus supporters and then you'll find it. And then any pictures that get uploaded there, pretty much Vince and Carla link me to them so that I can show them on the live streams, and that is what I'll be doing tonight. So we have a few pictures to look forward to, and unfortunately we aren't going to be having a pick roulette tonight. We are having one on Saturday, so make sure that you tune in for that. But the target for the pick roulette is set at 370, and that target never moves until we hit it. So that 370 is what we're aiming for tonight. And let me give a quick shout out. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it would be much appreciated if you could, as you come through the door, in order to help get us to our target of 370. It is a crazy high target, but we will see how we get on. Also, I forgot to give a little plug of the mug. That's what I tend to do when Orlando is being mentioned in the live stream. So here we go, spike the likes, great idea. And let me organize the screen so that we might be able to get the likes up on screen live. And it is set at 112, so, and up to 115, so thank you guys for that. And pretty much if you click the like button, you will see the number go up by either 1 or 2, or if a few people do it at the same time, then it'll go up a few. And there tends to be, I think, a little bit of a delay from, depending on where you are in the world, from when you click your like or when you comment and then when you see it on screen. I do know that when you comment and what shows up on the live chat room, there is a bit of a delay there because the amount of comments that I can see go straight down the screen and the live chat room is only the top section of it. So for example, Lucy's just gone through, and Jennifer and Billy, and Lucy is saying at Shawnee Key, at Frank Bamwell, and at Jennifer Sun, howdy. So that is what is just going through, and in order to get an idea of the delay, you can now look out for Lucy's comment as it goes through, and there it is. So that's how early I see the comments compared to when they show up on screen. So just in case you've written a comment and you can't see it instantly in the live chat, it takes a little bit of time to come through. And as those comments do come through, I saw Carla go through there. Massive shout out to all of the moderators for doing such a fantastic job. Carla, Laurie, and Neil will be in there somewhere. And Carla is just keeping everything under control. Not that it takes too much controlling, but let's not underestimate the job that the moderators do when it is difficult, and every live stream on YouTube gets its fair share of trolls, and it's no different here. It's just fortunate, I think, that we have such a great community that we don't have too many problems. So a massive thank you to you moderators in that live chat room. So we are going to be looking at a cover video later on, as always, maybe another video towards the end. I'll have a regular jump over to Patreon to have a look at the suggestions for videos over there. But the big news on the channel is that we've just passed 169,000 subscribers. So thank you so much everybody for subscribing, liking the videos, hitting that notification bell, along with subscribing. It all really helps to get the channel out there and for the channel to grow as a whole, but also to get the analysis videos out there and the cover videos, everything that I do on the channel here. So a huge thank you guys for subscribing, and it means we're only 1,000 or maybe about 900 now away from that 170,000, which would be a great milestone to hit. Not that we are really aiming for anything, we'll just see where we end up on this crazy journey together. And like I said in the live stream earlier, that I'm always going to be doing the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday, so even if it stops now, we'll still just get together on a Tuesday, on a Saturday, it'll be fine. And I do the live analysis videos on a Wednesday night as well. If you guys haven't seen one of those, I'll be doing one of those tomorrow night, and I'm still nailing down the video that I'm going to do. I'm not really sure. It might be a little bit of Jeff Lynne, but I'm not sure. Maybe. It tends to be the case that when I do have one just down on my notepad as one that could work and be okay from a copyright perspective, it tends to be the case that I then go forward with that, and it just so happens that Jeff Lynne is one of those that I have on the list for maybe tomorrow night. We will see. But fingers crossed, you can join me for that if you want to see which artist I'm going to be looking at. It's also a live analysis as well, so it means you guys can talk in the chat room about the particular artist. It just gives it a slightly different flavour to the offline analysis videos that I do and then upload. Anyway, we are going to be jumping into the PayPal window because we have had a little bit of action in there. First of all, I do want to address the donations that came in a little bit earlier, which means I'm going to have to jump around a little bit in order to get them. But first of all, Marilyn donated £5, so thank you for that, Marilyn. And the message was, "Hi Phil, congrats on 169,000 subs," with a heart. So thank you for that, Marilyn. And I think the next one's going to be Marilyn as well. So Marilyn has donated twice, and thank you again for this. It's another £5. And the message is, "Hi Phil, how did you get so savvy when it comes to the computer? You seem so good with computer applications," with a heart. So thank you for that, Marilyn. And it's nothing special really. I just type whatever I want to know into Google. So whether that be video editing, lighting, chroma keying, anything that I want to do live streaming wise, finding programs that work and then try to get good at using the program. And I think with this particular program that I do use, I have been using it a long time, and fortunately, because I've been live streaming, I don't know for how many years, that I haven't missed a Tuesday or a Saturday live stream. Certainly the Tuesday live streams have been going for a very long time, so it means that I'm constantly getting more and more practice in a live setting. And when you are live streaming, you can't really make mistakes. Well, you can make mistakes, but you don't have time to turn everything off and try and start again. You just got to roll with it. So I think it's a very good learning experience for anybody who's trying to work out how to use streaming software. It's really jumping in at the deep end. So I've just learned to use this particular software quite well, fingers crossed. But for everything else, I just go to Google, type it in, and just absorb as much information as I can. I also watch a lot of YouTube videos on different things, like for example when I was starting doing my YouTube videos about tagging and video editing, all those kinds of things. So that's what I spent my time doing, and I think pretty much if you've just got the will to learn, then you can type anything you want into Google and you can learn how to do it. It is all possible. So thank you, Marilyn, for that donation. And I'm just going to get rid of the PayPal donations window for a second, because we have had a donation that's come in the super chat window from Ginny. So thank you so much for that, Ginny. It is a $10 donation. And the message is, "Hi Phil, in honor of Beth being home from the hospital to get poor Percy off that bridge, take care." So thank you for that. Ginny, and also good news that Beth is home from hospital, so thanks for passing that on, Ginny, as well. And I hope everything is going well, Beth, and that you're recovering. It's always nice to be back home rather than staying in hospital the whole time. So that is good news. Thank you, Ginny, for that donation. And I am going to be jumping back into this PayPal window just because we've had a few more donations in there. So we have had Lucy, who has donated £6. Thank you so much for that, Lucy. And the message is, howdy, Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers. Phil, are there any new bands, say, within the last 20 years that you discovered and like? One of mine is Black Rebel Motorcycle Club with some rock horns, heart and peace. So thank you for that, Lucy. And I'm trying to think of bands. It's weird because I think really bands that I know are people that I do know. I mean, either contacts online, like more recently, Daniel Donato, who's a friend of the channel, and he does this cosmic country music, which is really cool. And I'm tending now to listen to a lot more music that covers more genres. Before, I'd listen to mostly hard rock, classic rock, all that kind of stuff, but now because of what I do on the channel here with analysis videos, I'm checking out bands all the time. And yeah, Essex County, just check them out if you do get a chance, because I believe they're still over in Nashville at the moment, but they're from pretty local to me, around Essex area, obviously being called Essex County, but they are very much more country music, and I started listening to them in about 2013, but I know them as well, so I have that very close connection. I'm trying to think of bands that I listen to now. Unfortunately, hard rock bands and classic rock bands and bands that aren't signed. I mean, having independent bands is great as well. For example, The Warning, again, I know that they've been on the channel and I've spoken to them. There's an interview of me with them here on the channel. You can check that out as well. But I checked out their music probably a couple of years ago now. So that's all cool stuff. I mean, that's more in that hard rock kind of vein. And unfortunately, I think here in the UK, the bands that do get signed, and it is rare actually for hard rock bands to get signed to major labels, and when they do, they're only around for about a year and then they just get dropped. So it is a shame that there isn't that much around at the moment, or at least not that I'm taking deep dives into it, because I'm spreading myself across so many different genres that I'm listening to lots of different styles of music, and I'm not just purely focusing on hard rock at the moment with what I'm listening to. And it's unfortunately for hard rock a bad time in the UK here, especially for original bands, because just getting out there and gigging isn't possible because of COVID. But then even when it was, you don't get paid for gigs, so it's really difficult to keep going. You need a really good job to make enough money to then support your music that you do on the side, because you're always going to be playing at a loss when you're performing original music. So there is that. And just to give you an idea of what I'm listening to at the moment, for example, I was listening to Philip Bailey last night, and that's just because I have so many voices of my youth that I then revisit and listen to when I've got a little bit of time, or when I'm just doing something else, maybe answering emails. I have that on in the background. So I was listening to Chinese Wall, the album, last night. So I just tend to listen to older artists and just older albums that I used to listen to when I was a kid and that my parents used to listen to as well. So yeah, I haven't been really focusing on hard rock and newer bands, but the ones that I have listened to recently I have mentioned. So thank you for that, Lucy, for that donation and the question. And I'm just going to scroll up because I can see that there's another one that has come in. So Vince has donated £13.80. Thank you so much for that, Vince. And the message is, Phil, Glam Gal Karen messaged me to tell you and the wingers hello. She said she got the vaccine and is having side effects. Wish her well. So thank you for that, Vince. And it's good news that Karen has got the vaccine, but not good news that she's having side effects. I think it is unfortunately something that does affect some people. They get side effects, but I think they do subside after a little while. So hopefully Karen can get over that and is probably in a lot better place having had the vaccine rather than getting COVID, which is the alternative, which is not a very good idea. But thank you, Vince, for that message and the donation. And we're at 152 likes so far in the live stream, and it's just gone 20 past 1 here in the morning. The live streams always move along at a ridiculous speed, so we will see where we end up. If you can give that thumbs up a click, it would be much appreciated. We can have a little spike of the likes, and I can see that there has been another donation in that PayPal window. So thank you, Joan, who has donated a very kind £50. Thank you so much for that, Joan. And the message is, congratulations on 169,000 subscribers. Phil, that guitar lottery gets closer every day. So thank you for that, Joan. This is something that we're going to be having in the future if we ever get to 200,000 subscribers. Obviously, 200,000 is a crazy amount, and it would take another 31,000 subscribers. So, I mean, when you think about that as a number, or you think about that in a football stadium, it is just a crazy number of people. So we'll see how we get on, but I don't think it's something that we're going to hit in the near future, but maybe it's something for 2022. If we just keep on moving forward, we'll see where we end up. But it would be cool to have that guitar on that wheel and just have it on the pick roulette wheel. It's going to be something that somebody could win on every spin, and as soon as somebody wins it, that will be it. I'm not going to put multiple guitars or endless guitars on that pick roulette wheel, but it'll be something cool to do at 200,000 subscribers if we ever get there. But thank you, Joan, for that very kind donation. And also another donation that I just want to address was from Michael, who donated before the live stream. That might have been on Monday. And also Lynn, who donated with the 169,000 subscribers message. So thank you for your very kind donation, Lynn. I know that I normally do an email to address that, so I'll probably do that as well. And any donations that do come in outside of the live streams, I email directly back just to say thank you, because I do like to mention all of the donations here live that do come in, but also offline as well. So thank you guys for those. And I can see there's been another donation, so I'm just going to scroll up and have a little scroll up here. And Mary has donated £5.10. Thank you so much for that, Mary. And the message is, I suspect one can never have too many golf balls. Glad lockdown is finally over for you. So thank you for that, Mary. And this is referring to what I did when lockdown was lifted. I actually got out there, hit a few golf balls, and that's something I've been trying to do as much as possible, just in case lockdown comes in again, but I don't think it will. Fingers crossed for the near future. It might, they say about there being a third wave in the future, and there might be. I know that people have just been going out and acting normally, so there's every chance that exactly the same thing could happen again, where lockdown is lifted, everyone goes out and just forgets that there's the COVID virus out there, and they don't wear their masks and they gather in groups, and then they're surprised that we have to go into lockdown again when they've just all been doing that. So now we're out of lockdown again. I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of months' time we go into lockdown again, because people don't realise that it takes about 4 weeks to see the effects of what you're doing as a nation. And if we all go outside and totally forget about the way that it spreads, then we'll be in lockdown again. But at least, fingers crossed, now we can make it last for a little bit of time. The only thing that I have noticed is that going outside, I've been locked down for, well, with everybody here in the UK, or at least they should have been, for about 3 months. So as soon as I then go outside, I have very sensitive skin, and it's probably even more sensitive having not been out in the sun. Not that it's warm here, it was warm for a couple of days, but now it was snowing today, so it gives you a good example of the temperatures, but also how crazy the weather is at the moment. Here in the UK, it was really warm. I think on Sunday, it was about 24, 25 degrees, and I know because I was visiting my nephews and we were outside, just kicking a football around, so it was really nice weather. But then on Monday, Tuesday, and we are Tuesday now, it was snowing. So it gives you an idea of the change in temperatures. It's absolutely crazy, and I think it's going to stay cold for a while. But even though it's snowing, I think my skin has caught the sun. I don't know how it's possible. I think, well, I know I've got a very sensitive skin, so any exposure to the sun and my whole face and anything that's exposed will go red. So yeah, I might have a little bit of a tan, which is going to be probably the only person in the whole of the UK to get a tan in this weather is myself, but I can't complain. Anyway, thank you, Mary, for that donation, and I am going to scroll up because another one has just popped in here. And it is Sue who has donated £20. So thank you so much for that, Sue. That is much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for these PayPal donations. And let me just put up on the screen that message just to let everybody know that when you do donate on YouTube, they take between 35 and 45%. So just so you guys know what you're getting involved with the donations, and also the fact that over on PayPal, they only charge a processing fee of, I think, between 3 and 5%. So just so you are totally informed with where your money goes. But thank you so much for that donation, Sue, for £20. There has been another couple of donations in the Super Chat window, and this is Carl, who has donated $5. Thank you for that, Carl. And the message is, just a question, what's your opinion of Dylan, Paul Simon and Stevie Nicks selling their rights / catalogues? Oh yes, cross the pond when safe. So thank you for that, Carl. And it's an interesting one, selling your catalogue to major record labels. I think if they just want a handout, and they might be having trouble. You never know somebody's financial situations, where they might just get to a point where for them at that point in their life it makes sense to sell their catalogue, their back catalogue of songs to a record label for an upfront fee to maybe get them out of trouble that they might be going through at that point in their life currently. But the thing is about rights to music and publishing rights, they are always going to pay. You're always going to get royalties, especially with artists like Dylan, Simon and Stevie Nicks. Having hits to your name means that they're always going to be played on radio, which means that you're always going to be receiving royalties for the foreseeable future and probably forever. But unfortunately, making maybe a few £1,000s a year, or maybe if you're an artist who has multiple hits, you'll be you'll be making a lot of money. I took the T from lot and it went all the way to the beginning of the sentence there, but you'll be making a lot of money. It just depends. Unfortunately, it's the thing that a lot of people fall into the trap of. When you start making a lot of money, they buy a big house, therefore they now have a lot of bills. They might buy a fast car, which means now that takes a lot of money to keep and maintain, and you're always needing more money even though you're making more money. Whereas I'm a big fan of keep everything the same and just make more money, but stay in the house that you're in and don't just incur even more. I guess it's people's luxuries and things that they want, which is absolutely fine, but I'm of the opinion that just living within your means is absolutely fine. My goal was only ever to try and make a full-time income by making music and being involved in music, and with teaching. That was something that I wanted to do in order to make money. I'd much rather teach guitar than do another job that I didn't enjoy. But then further into the future, I wanted to really push on and try and make money from my music so that I could do that full time. But I never have thought, oh, I want to be a multi-millionaire and buy a big house. As long as I can break even, that's all I'm worried about. So I think it is the case that sometimes people will just rack up bills and get in a lot of trouble and maybe take out loans, all that kind of stuff. So it sometimes makes sense to just try and get the money that you need at this point in your life. But for me, I would always hold on to my publishing rights. As long as I was breaking even with my bills at home and everything like that, I would never sell that, because I know that record labels know that this is a constant income forever. That is what royalties are. That's what publishing is. You own the rights to it. You receive the money for it. Every time that song is played, it's going to be played for multiple years into the future. So they're going to have a constant passive income, and they don't have to do anything. And that's why they might pay millions for the back catalogue to a popular artist, because they know they're going to make probably that amount of money within the next 5-10 years. They're going to break even, and then the next 50 years, however long the copyright lasts for and the publishing rights last for, they know that they're going to have 50 years of that same 5 to 10 million coming in. Anyway, that is a very long answer, but thank you, Carl. It is a complicated situation, but I wouldn't personally do it, but it's all dependent on personal situations. Thank you, Mike, as well, who has donated $5. So thank you for that. And the message is, Vince and Karen, maybe it's the flu that caused confusion in China. So thank you for that, Mike. And I don't know, it might be something that after the jab, you might just be ill with a cold or flu, and then you put it along with the jab and put 2 and 2 together, and maybe it doesn't make 4, but I do not know. It seems like if you are self-isolating and following everything that the government is telling you and being really cautious, that if you then get a jab and you do become ill, it probably is a little bit of a side effect. But thank you so much for those donations in the super chat window, and I know that there have been a couple more in the PayPal window as well. So thank you guys for this. And just to mention that Paul has popped in there with a £10 donation. Thank you for this, Paul. And the message is, hi Phil. So when you get a moment to play guitar for yourself, do you have a song or two that you like to play and sing? For example, mine might be Key to the Highway, or maybe a folk tune. So how about you? So thank you for that, Paul. And if I have any time to play, I don't really play any songs. I just play lead and maybe put on a backing track. Sometimes I'll just load up a backing track on YouTube and turn off the screen so that I just jam along to backing that I haven't heard before and I don't know where it's going, because I quite like to just feel my way through lead guitar playing and just see where it takes me. I find that that is a more fulfilling use of my time when I do have time to play. That's what I enjoy doing. I quite like just shooting from the hip with playing, and if I'm having an organized either rehearsal, then obviously I have to play songs or solos that I'm rehearsing for. But if I'm not rehearsing for something specific, then I'll just make sure that I'll go over techniques and just alternate picking, maybe a little bit of sweep picking, even though I don't do that in my own style of music, but I'll start working at runs and just technical side of things, really. That's what I tend to focus on if I do have time to practice, in exactly the same way that when I jump on other instruments, I tend to try and nail down technique work to get a little bit better at whether, the particular instrument that I'm playing, whether that be keys, drums, or vocals, or guitar. I just tend to be a little bit more technically minded and technically focused with my practice, because I don't have a lot of time to practice, so I want to try and get as good as possible in the shortest amount of time. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Paul. And I'm just going to scroll up because We have had other donations and I will get to those, but we are at 25 to 1 here in the morning, 25 to 1 in the UK, and that's Greenwich Mean Time, in case you wondered when these happen. And by the way, guys, 190 likes. Thank you for continuing to hit that thumbs up. That is much appreciated. I will get to the PayPal donations after we've had a little listen to the cover for tonight. And I believe this is going to be my version of Iris that has been requested over on Patreon. So thank you guys for this. And I'm just going to have a little look down the list because Lisa threw it in there. And we have had... I think Iris might be the one that's been requested twice. Lynn threw that one in there as well. I'm just trying to see if there have been requests for another cover that have been multiple times. I think Iris is the only one that popped up. So we're going to have a little listen to that. Hopefully I can find and click on the correct button. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you for requesting it over on Patreon. It really helps me out. And I'll see you guys after this. Rock.
Up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your life. Sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. The tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your eyes, when everything feels like the movies. Yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I
And there we have it. That was my version of the Goo Goo Dolls classic, and that was Iris. hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I am going to be jumping back into the PayPal donations window, but before I do, to mention a name that popped into my head when I was asked earlier about acts or artists that I'm into or have been into recently that might not be that well known or as well known. James Bell is one of those that you can check out here on YouTube if you do get a chance, because I've been listening to a little bit of his stuff and he's going to have a new album out quite soon. I think it's in early May. I'm not sure, I can't remember the exact date, but it'll be in early May that he's releasing a new album, and he's going to be on Under the Spotlight, so he'll be playing a solo. He's actually already sent me a solo, a rough version of it, which just sounded amazing, so really looking forward to when James sends over his solo. That he's going to play it. He did play it with a slightly cleaner tone, but I think he's going to play it on a Les Paul, and should be really cool to listen to that. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to do that episode before James launches his album in May, so just next month. We might have an early one of those, but I am aiming to get Under the Spotlight, the first episode, out this month. So we'll be having one, fingers crossed, before the end of the month, and then one probably early in May. So looking forward to that. So check out James Bell if you do get a chance, because he's another independent artist, and he's had quite a tough time as well with illness and things that have been really difficult for him to overcome and just continue to do music. So it's going to be great to have him on Under the Spotlight, but also great that he's got a new album out coming out as well in May. So I'll point you guys in the direction of that if you are into kind of blues and rock, and he's got a great voice as well. But really looking forward to getting James on the channel. Anyway, that was just one of those I wanted to throw in there that I didn't mention earlier, because James' name just popped into my head because I have been listening to his stuff recently. But I just want to jump into the PayPal donations window, because we have had another donation in there, and it's come in from Marge, and it is for £2.07. So thank you for that, Marge. And I can see that another one has come in as well, and this is from Jasmine, and Jasmine has donated £10.55. so thank you so much for that, Jasmine. That is much appreciated. And another one has just popped in literally this second, and it is Julian, who has donated £3.45, and I'm just going to scroll down. Thank you for that. And the message is, remember, I do Patreon, and that is why, as a pensioner, I do few super chats. When I do, it is because I want you to see my comment. So thank you for that donation. And this is the slightly different thing with the PayPal donations. As you can see on the screen, it's a lot bigger type, and it pretty much fills up that whole part of the screen. So like with this particular comment, we can see the whole thing, and hopefully it's big enough for you guys to see at home as well, because the other way that YouTube did it, it was just really small and you couldn't see the message very clearly. But I just find that the PayPal donations window is so much better in that you can just see it more clearly. So thank you so much for that donation, and it is clearly seen on screen now. So thank you as well in that super chat donation for the donation that's come in from Stan for $10. So thank you for that, Stan. And the message is, I heard on Neil Young's Old Man song that James Taylor used a banjo tuned like a guitar to play on that. How in the world did he pull that off? If you could explain it. So thank you for that, Stan. And I don't know exactly how he tuned the banjo, because of course on the banjo you don't have as many strings, you only have 4 strings. So it depends what he's used, whether he's used the top end of his guitar or the low end of the guitar. Obviously on the banjo, the first string is a lot thinner. So well, depending on how you're looking at the banjo, the first string as you look down is like the thinnest string being higher in pitch than the rest of them. So it depends, and I don't play the banjo, so I don't know how he would have tuned it. It'd be interesting to know, but he might have just tuned the strings maybe with an octave E on the bottom, and then standard tuning as you would do on the guitar. So then you've got the A, the D, and the G like that. Or he might have worked it the other way, but then if he's working from the top towards himself with a guitar, it means it's going to be fine for your D chord and part of your A chord, the top end of it, and your G chord would just be on that high E and B string. So it'll be interesting to know how he approached it. He might have done it the opposite to what I've just said there. So he might have gone with the E, B, G to the D as the octave on that lowest string as it'd be on the guitar, but the highest string on the banjo. So I do not know. It would just be a case of tuning the guitar or tuning the banjo to 4 strings as they would be on the guitar. That's how I imagine he has done it in order to have those same chord shapes going on. But thank you so much for that, Stan, for that question, and also for the donation. And we are going to be jumping into the pictures for tonight as well. So we are at 1:45 here in the UK. We've just gone past 1:45. So because we don't have a pick roulette, we have a little bit more time, so we can jump into the pictures for tonight. And let me see if I can get the background up on screen. And there it goes. So first of all, the pictures that I want to show are pictures of the Wings of Pegasus distressed, bleached type kind of t-shirt that Carla is putting together. So a big thank you to Carla for doing this. But these are the shirts that are going to be put on their own wheels. So it's going to be like a t-shirt roulette. And this is only going to happen if we hit the likes target for 4 weeks of live streams, so basically the month. So for example, if on a Tuesday night in the live streams we hit our target of 370, and then we hit the same target or the new target that's set the next week, and then the next week after that, and then the next week after that, it means that somebody will win a custom designed t-shirt. And the reason that I say it's custom designed is because it's something that you can talk to Carla about as to the design, how you want it to look, whether you just want the clean logo look of this t-shirt, or let me get the other picture up on screen. You can have this one, which is more involved and a little bit more. I mentioned how one of them looked like the universe in the background, the way that it's been put together. But again, it's something that you can just talk to Carla on how you would want it designed. But this is only if we hit those targets, and it's going to be the same for Saturdays as well. So if we do hit the targets on Saturdays, then the next month, if we hit 4 in a row, we're going to be having a t-shirt roulette. But those are the first 2 pictures that I wanted to show, just to give you an idea of those. We now have Vince on screen on his bass, and this is, I believe, Vince was playing at a service at church and his local church. So thank you for sending this in, Vince. And he's setting off the look with a Wings of Pegasus mask. But I did mention to Vince how it looks like he could fit right into the video that I did on You Know My Name, the cover that I did of that Chris Cornell track, which is on the James Bond. Well, it's the song for the James Bond film Casino Royale, but I did a cover of that. I'm sure you guys know the one that I'm referring to, but Vince would just fit in there seamlessly with the suit and tie look. So thank you, Vince, for uploading that and for sending it to me in the first place, and for wearing the Wings of Pegasus mask as well. So let's bring on, this is just a picture of Mary's CD player that has been turned up to 11, hence the CD on the top there and the message that I write on there. I always tell people to turn it up to 11, and that is something that Mary is doing here, because Mary also uploaded a picture of her Wings of Pegasus cap, hat, baseball cap or dad cap, whatever you call them. So, or dad hat even. Thank you, Mary, for uploading this picture and for showing the Wings of Pegasus cap. I call them caps, maybe that's... It's a baseball cap. That's what we call them here in the UK because they wear them playing baseball. So thank you for uploading that, Mary, and for modelling the Wings of Pegasus hat with the pink logo on that. And by the way, if you do want to get your hands on any merchandise, then you can do. In the tray underneath this video, you'll find hoodies and caps and t-shirts. I'm trying to think what else there is, but if you just have a little look in the tray under the video, you'll be able to find it. And also, we do have some custom merchandise over at wingsofpegasus.com, and that is something that Carla does. So thank you to Carla for doing that. You can find Wings of Pegasus pics, and I might be able to reach over here. This is a pic tin, which have been given away, and as you can see, I can almost hold it right next to my little logo on my zip hoodie. This is the zip one. You can get other hoodies that you pull over your head, but this is the zip version. So we have this, and we have these Wings of Pegasus pics, and they come in lots of different colors. Let me just pick out a random one, which is the black one with the Wings of Pegasus logo. So you can get those over at wingsofpegasus.com. And just to mention that the white Wings of Pegasus pics with the signature on the back, you can only win those in a live stream pic roulette. That's the only way you can get your hands on those. So you have to be very lucky in order to get those. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. I can see we're at 226, which is great. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could as you come through the door. Thank you guys for uploading your pictures to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, but also for sending them directly to me as well and just linking me to them in Facebook. It seems like Facebook's the best place to do that, or maybe email is another good place to do it because then you can attach your pictures to the emails. But certainly on Facebook it seems to work. I can right click on them and save them to my computer and then upload them to the software that I use. So it seems to be quite effective. Thank you guys for doing that. And I'm just going to pop into the PayPal donations window because I can see that we have had another donation in there. And let me just scroll down. It's Lucy who has donated £2.50. Thank you for that, Lucy. And the message is, on old man James Taylor plays 6-string banjo, tuned like a guitar and sang on the song, and Linda Ronstadt also contributed vocals, depending on how you say that. So thank you, Lucy, for that, and also that extra little bit of information, including Linda supplying some vocals. So that is it. It would be interesting to find out the way that James did tune that banjo and which strings he chose to take from the guitar and transport them onto the banjo. But thank you, Lucy, for that donation. I'm just going to scroll up, and I think we're up to date with the PayPal donations, so that is much appreciated. And I am going to be doing a little update probably on Patreon later on in the week on Thursday. That's when I do my updates in order to keep you guys in the loop with what's going on with Under the Spotlight, and things are still moving behind the scenes. I did do an update last night on Patreon in order to let you guys know what's happening and the fact that I was waiting for some guitarists to send me some of the solos, but things have moved along there. I mentioned about James sending me a solo earlier, but Daniel also has sent me not one solo, but 3 solos. So a huge shout out to Daniel Donato for giving me options there as well. So I'll pick one of those solos to feature on Under the Spotlight, but I'll also give you guys an update over on Patreon on Thursday to let you know where I am, and hopefully I'll keep chasing things up so that we get a clearer idea of when the first one's going to be out. But everything is set up and ready to go for Under the Spotlight. Hopefully I'll be able to release something this month. I say hopefully, I definitely will, but I'm just hoping that Buck Dharma will be the first one. It'd be great to open the series with Buck, and then we'll be doing another one. I'm hoping that maybe we can do it relatively soon so that when we get to next month and I said about James potentially being featured at the beginning of the month. Would be great to hit the ground running and then roll straight into another one at the beginning of next month. So if you guys want to be kept in the loop all the time, I'm posting on Patreon and I do little updates to let you guys know what's happening. And the Patreon site is that patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And that is where these people at the bottom of the screen all reside, and they really are the foundation of the channel, everything that I do here. So again, big shout out to these people at the bottom of the screen and to that page. If you want to get involved yourselves and become part of the foundation of the channel, then you are more than welcome to go over there and check out that site. And that is where you'll find the daily updates from me. And I do upload and leave a link to every single video that I do on YouTube on Patreon. So you'll never miss a video if you are over on the Patreon page, because I do a separate post for every single video that I do, as well as updates about what's going on and what I'm up to and how things are going along, whether they're going well or not so much. But things tend to be going quite well at the moment. Fingers crossed, and touch wood. I'm going to lean over and touch the top of my guitar just to make sure that I don't jinx everything. But thank you guys for all of your support over there and for popping up in the Super Chat window, the PayPal window as well, for the kind donations. So we are going to be moving forward. Like I said, we've got a little bit more time tonight, even though it's 4 minutes to 1 here in the UK. Let's have a little look over on Patreon, the site that I was just mentioning, and see what we've had requested over there, because we've had a request for We Can Fall Down from Donna, and Lisa requested Percy Johnson. We played that in the beginning. So Leilani has requested Amelia and Greed. We haven't heard Greed in a while. Donna has requested Greed as well. And let me just scroll down. I think I've made my mind up, because of the fact we haven't heard it in a while, and there were 2 or 3 requests for Greed. We're going to have a little look at the lyric video for my song called Greed. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and spike those likes. I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Sees the
There we have it. That was my song called Greed, which you can pick up over at wingsofpegasus.com/music. You can get my album there as well, which is called Persistence, and you can get that on iTunes and Amazon, but it's better for me if you go to my website because then I don't have to give away a percentage. So I just typed into the chat room, I say just, it was a few minutes ago, whether anybody had some questions. I saw one going through, because we've got a little bit of extra time, maybe we can watch a cartoon, but just while I have a little look into the live chat room for any questions, if you want to see a cartoon, I can't remember which ones I showed last time. I know that I showed 2, and it's because I clicked on the wrong button, so I'm trying to remember which one we didn't see. So if you can let me know which ones we watched. Was it the library one? I think it was that one, and maybe the Guffest one. I'm not sure, but if you can let me know, because if we haven't seen the audition one, then we'll play that one. But let me know, that would be good. I saw somebody write a question in the live chat room that was, who was my guitar teacher? I think that was the question, and I have never had a guitar. This is the irony. I've never had a guitar lesson. So it's something that I started doing when I was about 12 years of age, just starting to try and work it out myself. My dad plays guitar, so he showed me a few chords, and then I just jumped into it really. Just watching, or at least listening to begin with, to Jimi Hendrix. Back in the day when I was young, we didn't have YouTube and all that kind of stuff, so you couldn't see a video of somebody playing, you just had to work it out by ear. So by the time videos and the internet came along, I was a lot older and had worked out a lot of stuff, so then I didn't really, I think I probably was better off trying to listen to stuff and working it out, because I think that's a hell of a lot more difficult than seeing somebody do it, because you can see their fingers and see where they are and the techniques they're using. So that is something that I think really has helped me learning to play the guitar, but also working out what other guitarists are doing. And then from a teaching perspective, if somebody says, I want to learn this song, and then they might not even have a video. Like sometimes a student will bring in their phone and just play the song on their phone, and then we'll start learning it in the lesson, because if you can listen to something and know what they're doing, then when you teach, it's a real advantage, because it means that somebody can literally come in for a lesson and you don't have a lesson plan, because they will just come in with a song that they want to learn, and then we'll just get down into that song, break down the techniques and the chords. So yeah, that's what I have done on many occasions, but I think that's all because of the advantage I had of not having a video to look at. I was just listening and breaking down audio information rather than visual information. So that is something that, yeah, I think was an advantage. But thank you for the questions. I don't think I've seen many. That was one that I did see that stuck out. I did see asking for, it was probably Terry, but I'm not sure, asking for a cartoon. But like I said, I can't remember which one we had a look at. So I'm having a little look to see if I can see any other questions going through. It doesn't look like there are any. Maybe I have timed it incorrectly in order to find a question. Okay, here's one. We have Francis, who says, how long does it take you to learn a song? And the G was an H there. So it depends on the song. If it's quite straightforward, like I said, we can do it in a lesson, and a lesson's half an hour. So pretty much, if it's just chords and some simple lead, then about half an hour to just work out the progression. And obviously, if you're working it out, you're writing it down as you go, so you don't have to commit it to memory. If you're then performing it live and you want to commit it to memory, then you just have to keep playing through it until you just get used to the chords and the progression. But just getting the chords down can be half an hour. If you're talking about getting down a much more technical piece, for example, I've done a cover of Eruption by Van Halen. That probably took me about a week to listen to it, break it down, try and decipher the exact notes that were being played, and then to get those techniques down and to try and get it a similar phrasing. Probably took me about a week to get that. And when I say a week, obviously it wasn't, solidly every day for 24 hours. I'd say it was maybe an hour, a couple of hours a day in order to get it to a point where you can now do a cover of it. So the more technical stuff takes a longer time because it is subconscious muscle memory. You just have to keep repeating it. It probably doesn't take long to work out the notes. You can slow it down and you can plan it out and you can just keep playing it through to remember the notes. It's just the speed, because any fast playing is just subconscious muscle memory. The way to do it is just to keep on playing it over and over and over and over and over again, and that's the only way. And it's really boring and it's very mundane and there's not really any creativity to it because you're just playing the same thing over and over again for a week, gradually speeding it up. But that is what technical playing is. Unfortunately, that's what you have to sign up for when you play the guitar. And if you do want to play fast, you have to just accept that you're going to have to play the same thing over and over and over again. And I think the thing that I have done in order to build up my speed on the fretboard is to do it whilst watching TV. And it's something that it doesn't take any conscious thought to go through alternate picking exercises. You just got to repeat them over and over again. So you can watch a movie or just watch TV while you're doing it and just let your hands go through the motions, gradually speeding up. The most important thing is that you make sure that you are playing the right notes over and over again. You don't want to start speeding it up to where you start making mistakes. So that is something that I have done in the past. And yeah, more technical stuff can take a week, maybe even longer if it's something that is technical and outside of your general playing. I play kind of hard rock techniques, so for me Van Halen is one of those players that I was influenced by when I was learning to play, so I've got a lot of those techniques that I can call upon. Whereas if I was trying to do a cover of something that was very technical and outside of my normal playing, then it might take a little bit longer than a week. So that's the thing. I think with fingerstyle as well, I have done some quite complex stuff with that. That's taken a little bit of a while, maybe about a week or a little bit longer to get down, because when you're talking about fingerstyle playing, it's not something that is really in hard rock and metal, for example. There's a lot of alternate picking and tapping, but for acoustic guitar, you really have to watch your technique and make sure that everything is straight down the line and that you're getting it all right. And there is a lot of technique in acoustic playing, such as hitting the body of the guitar, harmonics, also having artificial harmonics in there where you have to pick and catch the string with your right hand immediately after you've picked that string to get the harmonic to ring out. So yeah, lots of different techniques. But thank you for that question. And I'm just going to have a little look down because that was quite a long answer to that question. We are going to have a look at the cartoon. I'm going to play the one that is the audition, and hopefully I didn't play this one the other day. I might have done, but this is going to be the audition, and it's almost 1:10 here in the UK, so we're going to be racing towards the end of the live stream. If you have a chance to hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated because we haven't got long to go. But this is the audition, real life stories. I hope that it works, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Okay, well, thanks for coming down to the audition today. Do you mind if we slag you off behind your back while we discuss your audition?
That's okay, I'll randomly walk in this direction.
What the actual heck was that? Okay, let's start with the negative points.
Well, his image is laughable and totally unsuitable. He can't keep time. His bass looks like he found it in a skip. And he was late.
Unbelievably, even though he was absolute total guff. He is the best we've seen, and we've been auditioning for a year. So what the ruddy frig shall we do?
As much as it pains me to say it, I think we'll have to give him the gig. Bite the bullet and get on with it.
This is total guff shine.
Hello again. Before you tell me your decision, I thought I would say, I want this more than anything in the world. I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you've got the gig. You are now our new bassist.
Holy head guys, thanks a lot. This means the world to me. You will not regret it.
Well, straight to business. We have a rehearsal on Wednesday night 7 until 10 before the gig on Saturday.
Can't do Wednesday.
Why not?
Me and the missus usually go to the corner shop that evening.
Okay, no problem. We'll just move the rehearsal to Thursday.
Can't do Thursday.
Is there any day at any time before Saturday that you can do?
No.
Hang on, is the gig this Saturday?
Yes, it is this Saturday, as I have been telling you for the last 3 weeks.
I can't do it. I'm working this Saturday, and I definitely can't get out of it, for sure.
Are you actually having a joke with me? As you have just realized it is this Saturday, I know for a fact you have not called in to see if someone will cover your shift.
I didn't think of it like that, but now you say it, it makes sense.
Well, considering it is a great venue and fantastic opportunity for us as a band. Do you want to call your work just in case?
Well, I suppose I could actually thinking about it.
Well, ruddy guffing do it then, you freaking bum guff.
Hello, it's me. I doubt anyone will, and don't worry if you can't. But will you or anyone else cover my shift on Saturday?
So, what did they say?
They said they didn't want to cover my shift. It sounded like they were slagging me off and laughing in the background. So it's a dead end.
Well, at least you got across the importance of getting Saturday night off.
Now the problem is, I can't fake illness because they know I want Saturday night off. Ruddy, hell.
I seriously cannot believe your incompetence. Okay, give me your phone. Hello, I'm calling on behalf of my guffing idiot of a friend. Yes, that's him. He has an important night on Saturday. Can he swap his shift? That's great, thanks for doing that. I'm actually amazed at how easy that was to organize. Many thanks. There you are. You now have Saturday off, so you can now do the gig. How you could not organize that is beyond me. Unbelievable.
Just thinking about it, actually, I can't do Saturday.
What? There. Actual. Frig. Please excuse me. I just have to go outside quickly and shout something.
And there it is. That was my real life story, and I could see some questions going through the live chat room while that was being played, and I think there might be some confusion over some of the words being used. I did say during the previous live stream when I did play a cartoon that all of these words are innocent words here in the UK, but put together in such a way that they sound like they're not innocent. And the reason that I used to do this and still do this is because my mum doesn't agree on any level with swearing and blasphemy. So in the house I would make up pretend blasphemy so that you have like ruddy heck and ruddy bumguff and all that, all just stupid words, because it would get a reaction out of my mum. She'd say, "Philip, don't to say that," but I would then say they're totally innocent words. They don't really mean anything, but when you say them with intent, I think that's what she was picking up on. So that's why I started doing it, and I started putting them into these cartoons because I thought it was funnier than swearing, because I don't really see the need to put swearing in cartoons unless it is like a cartoon made purely for adults. But this is one of those cartoons that I wanted to put together my real life story, real life stories, because there's more than one of them, of experiences that I've had in my musical journey so far, and that was one of them where the guy next to me was the second guitarist and we're auditioning a bassist for the band, and in the other cartoons we have the full band together where we're then going to be playing at a festival, but all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, these are all scenarios that I've been through, and I think a lot of people will relate to having people in a band who say, oh, it means the world to me, I'll give anything to get somewhere, and I will do anything to get somewhere, you know, and to do music full time. And then you say, right, well, we're going to rehearse on Thursday night. And they say, oh, well, I can't do that. You say, well, you just said you would do anything to get anywhere apart from Thursday night rehearsals. What about Saturday night for the gig? Oh, I can't do that because I'm going to watch a movie with the girlfriend. That is not doing anything. I think it's clear now that my classification and my definition of doing anything to do music full time is literally doing anything. If I need to spend, well, not 24 hours a day, but if I need to spend 18 hours a day working at it in order to do it, then I will do it. And I think a lot of people say, oh, I'll do anything to get that, but then they think it's like a one-off, like, okay, well, jump into that icy water and then you will get your goal or you'll achieve your dream. But it doesn't work like that. Generally, and for the most part, in my experience in life, when people say, I will do anything to get to that point or to achieve that, my answer would always be, well, in order to achieve that, the version of doing anything is spending 8 to 10 hours on it a day, as well as maybe doing your job. If you're having to teach or if you have to go and do a job, you will then come home and then spend as long as you can trying to achieve this dream. You might have to put in an extra 4 or 6 hours a day, but that is my definition of anything. It's not something that you can just quickly become successful. It's something that I've been on YouTube since 2011? So 10 years of working at it, and I started playing my first band when I was 19. So that is almost 20 years ago that I've been working at it, because that is my version of doing anything. And eventually, I think that if you just keep on plugging away, you will get somewhere and you will achieve your dream. Or like I said, I always just dreamed of breaking even. If I was doing something musical full time, that to me is just like the best thing ever, and that would be great. Just thinking forward into the future of having that as a goal, but I knew that I was willing to work for it every day in order to get there. So yeah, this is hopefully something that a lot of people can relate to in a band, when you get people that just say, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this, and I can't do that. And you think, well, I want to do something every day to try and get to this goal that we're all supposed to be aiming for. And this is probably why I've ended up just me doing everything, because it means I can literally go at my own speed. But anyway, thank you for requesting a cartoon and all of the questions in the live chat room regarding the language in that as well. There's a fair deal of sarcasm in these videos and the real life stories. It's something that I feel sarcasm is a very good way to deal with things, and it was also good for me to be able to put into a cartoon all of the things that I've been through, probably to just vent a little bit of those frustrations of bygone years, but all of those experiences have put me where I am now, so I can't complain about it. Anyway, thank you, by the way, Lynn, who has donated £50 in the PayPal window. Thank you so much for that. Let me get that up on screen so we can see it, and we'll scroll down, and the message is, you know the How May I Hinder You venue in the Phil tune? We have lots of little coffee house stages here in LA. I got to see Viggo Mortensen reading his poems in one. No need for amps. So thank you for that, Lynn. And Viggo is one of those guys that I have seen many times. I am a big fan of Lord of the Rings, and Viggo is in that particular movie. And there's a scene in that when he kicks, and you probably already know this if you've seen Lord of the Rings, but it's when the hobbits have been kidnapped and they've been taken off. Actually, they've run off into the woods, and he kicks a helmet. And when they were filming that scene, Vigo thought that the helmet was a fake helmet, so it was really light to kick. So when he was just acting frustrated because they thought that the hobbits had been killed, but anyway, he kicked that helmet, but he didn't know it was metal. It was a proper like iron helmet. So when he kicked it, he broke his toe and broke his foot. So in that scene, he then shouts out and he goes, "Ah!" because he's broken his toe in real life. And that is the take that they've kept in the movie. So if you've seen Lord of the Rings and you know the scene that I'm talking about, it's when they've burnt all of the orcs and there's a big pile of it that's got, you know, ash coming off it. If you've seen that scene, then when you hear him scream and shout, that is because he's not only acting really well, but he's just broken his foot kicking. Because if you watch the helmet, he actually gets a good distance on it. And considering how heavy it is, it shows you how hard he kicked it. So yeah. Anyway, it's these kind of things that I'm interested in. The little backstories behind the filming of the movies. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Lynn. And I can see that another one has come in behind this as well. And it is Laura, who has donated £34.49. Thank you so much for that, Laura. And the message is, Phil, has anyone ever just showed up unexpected to your studio as a fan and knocked on the door? No, but I have had a guitar lesson or two that have turned up who have actually cancelled the week before, or at least their, well, I say their kid, it's the parents whose kid has said, "Oh, I'm not going to be here next week," so then I don't expect them, but then the parents drop them off anyway, so then I've done at least a couple of unexpected guitar lessons. And this is when it is fortunate to be able to just listen to a song and work it out and go through the lesson, because yeah, just turning up and I'm probably in a hoodie or tracksuit bottoms and comfortable slippers or something, and then I'm teaching a guitar lesson. So yeah, nobody's turned up at my door, but certainly for a lesson I've had a couple of students that have turned up in the past. But thank you for that, Laura. And I'm just going to scroll up because Linda has donated £5. Thank you for this, Linda. And I'm just going to scroll down. It is a £5 donation. Thank you for that. The message is Linda. Did I say Linda Z? Maybe I forgot to say Linda Z's name in the live chat room. Or maybe I did. I'm not sure. But Linda Z is in the house and says, how do you approach teaching a student to play lead guitar versus rhythm guitar? Do you do anything differently? So thank you for that, Linda. And in a word, yes. There's loads of difference between playing lead guitar and playing rhythm guitar. I always start off with rhythm guitar because it's the most overlooked part of playing the guitar. And once you get a handle on being able to control that right hand and getting a rhythm to that right hand, you can start to approach lead playing in the same way with downstrokes and upstrokes in order to get the same kind of vibe from your lead playing as your rhythm playing. So that is something that does cross over a little bit, but with lead playing you have to start thinking about muting strings, using palm muting, and yeah, there's a lot of technique in playing lead guitar. This is why a lot of players just play rhythm and don't really venture too much into playing lead, because it is really now having to knuckle down on technique. But thank you so much for that, Linda, for that donation. And I think we have had another donation that's come in, and this is from Beth. And it is £17.25. Thank you so much for that, Beth. And the message is, hi Phil, great show as usual. You and the Wingers got me through the hospital stay. Many thanks. Do you ever check out your Facebook fan page? If so, what do you think? It's a fun place to hang out. So thank you for that, Beth. And we did mention about Beth being home from hospital, so that is good news. And thank you for that donation and the question. I have checked out the Facebook fan page in the past, but I have in the past also seen posts on there that I think refer to me and not directly. So people maybe want to do things, and I think it's probably better if I don't spend a lot of time on there, so you guys can do things if you want to that I don't necessarily part of all the time. So it's your own space to spend a little bit of time on there if you want to. And also, because I'm so busy on Patreon and with the emails and with my Facebook messages and everything that I try and get done every day, I think going over and spending a lot of time on the supporters page might be just a little bit too much to spend time on there as well. So I think it's good as well to have a place for you guys in the live chat room just to communicate and get to know each other, rather than me just spoiling it and turning up and taking over. But thank you, Beth, so much for that donation. And I think we've had another donation here from Kimberly for £13.80. Thank you for this, Kimberly. And the message is, love the Phil tunes, they crack me up. So thank you for that, Kimberly, and I'm glad that you enjoy them. And Kim and everybody tonight, thank you for all of your donations. We are going to be calling it to a close very soon, but I can see there's been one more donation in PayPal, and this is Jill, who has donated £6.90. Thank you for that. Thank you for Jill. Thank you for Jill, and thank you for her donation of £6.90. The message is, Phil, are those your drawings on the cartoons, or are they computer generated? So thank you for that, Jill. And they are computer generated, as well as the voices being computer generated. Somebody asked me in the comment section whether those are my voice, but they're not. So it's all computer generated. I just write out the script, the things that are being said, and yeah, all these stupid words, and also animate them as them turning, looking at each other, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for that, Jill, but I don't draw them. You get options on clothing and stuff. So that's something that I did in order to get one of the guys to look a little bit like me. That was my plan. But we are going to be calling it to a close. By the way, we have had a few more donations. Chet has donated $2.99 in the super chat window, so thank you for that, Chet. Lisa has donated $5. Also, Chet has got the guy doing the thumbs up, so thank you for that. And Lisa has donated $5 and says, when did you know in your own mind that you had real talent for music? So thank you for that, Lisa. And I think probably I found out when I was about 12 that I could work out songs, or at least find the notes on the guitar. So that's the first point at which I knew that I had a bit of an ear for things. I think also playing, or maybe just nodding my head along to the drum beat, that's something that I could pick up pretty quickly with songs. So I knew that I had a little bit of rhythm there. So I think I just had the will to do it as well, which is a huge part of it. But thank you for that, Lisa. Orlando has donated $2 and says, I had to sleep before work. I'm here now, rock, with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Linda Z has donated $2 right at the end and says, so did you guys end up playing that gig after all? So thank you for that, Linda Z. And yes, we've never not played a gig. So as bad as it's been, we've always played in the past. So thank you for that, Linda Z. And I think that's pretty much my outlook on everything, is if you're there to play, even if it's an absolute nightmare, it's just good to play some music and hope that some people do see you. And Vince has just donated $5, and the message is, Phil, the likeometer is going down. So we are at 232 likes, and we're going to have a final spike of the likes, because we are now relying on the catch-up crew, and it's something that unfortunately I haven't really seen it go down, but it's something that we are hopefully going to maybe hit the 370. Yeah, maybe we were higher than that, so maybe something's going funny with YouTube at the moment. But thank you for the heads up, Vids. We will be calling the live stream to an end, and hopefully we'll get a few people in the catch-up crew hitting that thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. It's 1:30 here in the morning. Time has really gone away tonight. It's run away. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to be live again tomorrow night for a live analysis, and there's going to be another analysis video on Friday night. So check that out if you do get a chance. And Carla says that it was up to 290 almost. So something weird has happened. We've got an error going on in the live stream tonight with the likeometer. And it does say on my screen 238. So hopefully that will get rectified in the future. The fact that it's just randomly cut off about 50 likes. So, also, Orlando's just popped in with a $5 donation saying, my apologies for not giving individual hellos. I will do better Saturday. So thank you for that, Orlando. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Like I said, I'll be live again tomorrow night for the analysis. And Friday, another video coming out, but there will be a live stream Saturday night with a pick roulette. So make sure you guys tune into that if you are available. And maybe if you did type I agree on that last Saturday's live stream, you will have your name on that particular wheel and you will have a chance to win. So a massive thank you to everybody for joining me. Try and stay safe. Huge thank you to the moderators as well for tonight and every single live stream for doing such a great job. But stay safe, stay isolated, and self-distancing yourselves with other people if that's what your government is telling you to do. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!